Hey guys, and welcome back to MothersBBQ. On this video, we are going to be doing a simple brisket on the RecTec, and we're going to be topping it off with Ballistic BBQ's barbecue sauce. So stick around. Alright, so let's make our rub for our brisket here. You can keep it as simple as you want with just salt and pepper. I like to twist it up a little bit. I like this recipe here. We're going to start out with some chili powder, some brown sugar, some kosher salt, paprika, onion powder, some oregano, and coarse ground black pepper. And that's it, nice and simple. Give that a little mix. What I got here is a 7.5 pound brisket flat. You can find these in any grocery store. You can even ask your butcher. When I went to the store, they only had these little 1 and 2 pounders. I like them a little bit bigger, but I mean, 1 and 2 pounds, great for 1 or 2 people. I got a 7 pounder. I just asked my butcher to go in the back, check it out, see what he has. He even cut me this, which is pretty nice. You know, one thing I'm not quite happy with is it's a little thin on this end, so it's gonna cook a lot faster. It was already pre-trimmed. I did take a little bit of fat off of here and I scored it a little bit. Kind of scored it a little bit too deep here. You don't really want to do that. You just want to get through the fat. So we're going to go ahead and coat this with our rub. I'm going to do the fat side first. Make sure I push it into those slices that we made. Go ahead and hit it with the other side. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna let this hang out for a good 20 minutes, let the meat absorb it. You'll start seeing it glaze over, and by then our RecTec should be heated up and ready to go. All right, we're gonna be running our RecTec here at 250 for the entire cook. We got our brisket all coated up. I'm running some oak pellets in here. Let's go ahead and get this on. And while this is cooking, we're gonna let that rub set in. We're gonna go ahead and make our mop sauce. Okay, so our brisket's been on the RecTec for about 15-20 minutes now. Let's go ahead and put together a mop sauce. We're gonna start out with some apple cider vinegar, some apple cider, some beef broth, Worcestershire sauce, some hot sauce, vegetable oil, and I'm going to add in some Pacifico beer and a little bit of our rub that we made earlier. And that's it. We'll go ahead and mix this up. Let this set up, and when we start seeing that the rub on the brisket is set, meaning that if we start mopping now, we're going to wash away that rub. So we want to wait until that's set up, and that's usually, I don't know, after about 45 minutes, an hour, and we'll go ahead and we'll start mopping. All right, so we are at the 3-hour mark, and our brisket has got a really nice color. I've been basting about every 20-30 minutes. I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it at this point because I don't want to add any more color to this. I'm also gonna add in a little bit of our basting juice here. Get it back on, and at this point we're going to go ahead and just keep an eye on the temp. We want to get this thing up to about 203, 205, somewhere around there. So I will see you then. Okay, so we have our brisket wrapped. It's cooking along. Now we got to make a barbecue sauce. And this barbecue sauce, I'm making this purely out of curiosity. This is actually Greg over at Ballistic BBQ's custom sauce. It has a certain ingredient in it that I've always been questioned about and been curious at the same time. So we're gonna do Ballistic BBQ's barbecue sauce. We're gonna start out with some apple cider vinegar, quite a bit of it. I will have the link to Greg's video where you can get the recipe. We got some lard. This is pork lard. A couple chopped garlic cloves. Here's our spice blend. Again, the link down below will give you the exact recipe. Gonna add in a buttload of brown sugar. I got some Worcestershire sauce and a little bit of liquid smoke. And this is not in Greg's video, but this is what Greg told me to add this, and it just kicks it up so much, but I'm gonna add some bourbon to it. Now here's the kicker. This is why I wanted to try it. Greg always adds pickling spice to his sauces, and I just thought it was kind of odd, being that these are like pretty, they're pretty big chunks of spices in there, and I wasn't quite sure, how this would work out, but I'm gonna give it a try, man, so we'll see. I'm gonna add some pickling spice, and of course we gotta add some ketchup. All right, I'm gonna get this thoroughly mixed up. I'm gonna get it on the stove and start simmering down. We gotta get those pickling spices to soften up, and this will actually reduce down. So let's see how this turns out. All right, so our brisket is ranging anywhere from 195, 196 in the center, just over 200 on the outside, which is, the way it is. And I went ahead and unwrapped it, and we got our Ballistic BBQ sauce here that I've been coating this with. And we're gonna let this cook for another 15-20 minutes until I start seeing the tenderness that I want. So by using a probe, it should feel like going in like soft butter. But we're not quite there yet. All right, so we're about 6.5 hours into our cook. We're looking pretty good here. My temp probe's reading like around 205, but I'm not really feeling the tenderness yet. But I don't want this to dry out either. I mean, it's pretty tender, so we're gonna go ahead and pull this and let this rest. All right, boys and girls, here's our brisket. Total cook time was 6.5 hours. We did the rub, very simple rub. We had that mop sauce with the coffee and the beer, and then we topped it off with Greg's Ballistic BBQ Sauce. It smells great, looks great. Let's slice into this. I can see my grains are going this way. Okay, so it is slicing pretty good. Not much effort. All right, so here's the center of my brisket where I thought maybe it might be a little bit dry, but as you can see, we got some good juice in there. We got an okay bend. I think it could have gone a little bit longer, but I was really afraid that it was just gonna really dry out. It's got a good pull to it. Let's go ahead and taste this. All right, so there you have it. We got a great smoke ring. Smells great, nice and beefy. I think it could have gone just probably a little bit longer. The tenderness really wasn't there for me, but I didn't want to risk drying it out, so we went ahead and pulled it. So let's give this a try. It's got great smoke flavor. That barbecue sauce adds some tang to it with some heat behind it. It's definitely got the sweetness from all that brown sugar. The pickling spice, yeah, I think it does add a unique flavor to it. The size of the seasoning in that pickling spice doesn't really bother me like I thought it would. Can't even really tell it's there, but you can tell the flavor. If it is a huge issue, I can see you just straining your barbecue sauce, making it nice and smooth. But definitely got tons of flavor in that sauce. It is a unique flavor. I like it. This is definitely a winner. Remember, guys, you don't have to cook this on a smoker. You can definitely do this in your oven, 250, low and slow. Take your time. You won't get that smoke flavor, but you'll get some good brisket. Remember, guys, hit that thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't. Give this recipe a try. I'll see you guys on the next run. Thanks for watching.